Brock Lolly Show.
The love for Obama is so great. If he had no protection, people would literally tear off his clothes like he's Justin Bieber. That's the presence of Obama, even on the press corps, even on the people who follow him every day. When they're near him, they lose their minds. You know, they start behaving in ways that are juvenile and amateurish, and they swoon.
The news headlines. Without the leftist cult worship.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Brock Lolly program. My name is Brock Lolly. I am your fearless host. This is the show. We tackle the news headlines, sifting out the leftist alphabet soup, Democrat Party lies, like the chaff that they are from the golden wheat of truth. I serve that truth up for your ADD relative television show minds on a silver platter of rhetorical deliciousness. That is the show in a nutshell. Let's jump into the stories. Stevens, a so-called conservative, endorses Hillary Clinton. I don't think I'm overstating this when I say that the theme is the same with all these Never Trump diatribes. Basically, they think something along these lines. I'm trying not to put words in their mouth, but the song goes something like this, chorus and verse. We'll recover from Hillary. It'll be minor inconveniences. We'll recover from it, but Donald Trump is the end of the world. See, what's really, really frustrating about this, to me, is that many of the exact same things that they're accusing Trump of, for example, they don't like his foreign policy. They think he's dangerous. They don't like his economic policy. They claim it doesn't have enough details, and where he does give details, they claim it's not conservative enough, so on and so forth. This level of volume, right, it was nowhere to be found for 8 straight years of Democrat rule. And more importantly, when Barack Obama was testing the limits of the power granted him under the Constitution, no such cries of hysteria, no such warnings, no such action. See, this is the exact problem with the establishment, is that the only time they're in any way, shape, or form animated is if you threaten their power. Now, the country, the average citizen was allowed to be fiscally raped, was allowed to be threatened, abused, have their energy bills have their energy bills skyrocket under insane energy policy. More importantly, have their health care decimated, have their health care bills tripled, quadrupled. You didn't see this sort of animation, did you, from quote-unquote Republicans or quote-unquote conservatives? So it begs the question, why are they even around? What do they exist to do? They certainly don't exist to serve the feelings or to fight the fight that the conservatives sent them there to do. No, it's not until they sense that the constituency was so sick of their complacency, so sick of their yellow belly actions, that they were willing to take drastic measures. And in this case, that's Donald Trump. Now, all of a sudden, it's Hillary Clinton is the solution because Donald Trump is so scary. It's so unbelievably out of touch, and it's so hypocritical, and it's so lockstep, hand to glove the problem, and they don't see it. Every time I read one of these pieces, I just think they just keep falling further and further and further into the sand trap, into the quicksand that is their own thinking that just will not change, will not read the tea leaves, will not take the temperature of the times. It's very frustrating. Hillary Clinton will be devastating to this nation, absolutely devastating, so much so that I don't think we could recover. And I suppose Stevens and his ilk feel the same way about Donald Trump. But what we have evidence of is that the policies that are in place right now, the policies that we've had to endure for the last 8 years, have gutted the bank accounts, have divided the nation racially, have left the world by way of foreign policy in ashes. There is absolutely no reason to believe Hillary Clinton will not press the gas pedal on all that madness. And now that the infrastructure has been set in place, that the Democrats can do whatever they want. I mean, I just wanted to leave you with this before we move on to the next story. Stevens endorses Hillary. Hillary Clinton has so much criminal chain wrapped around her neck. Just today, the story just emerged that the IT guy that put in her server, all of a sudden, all those emails between Hillary and this guy just up and disappear. I mean, the woman's just so plainly and flatly guilty. And so I have no respect, absolutely no respect for these Never Trump conservatives like Stevens, who are claiming that Hillary Clinton, who belongs in prison, if the law means something, she belongs in prison. So if the law means anything, and again, I warn you, as we see the erosion of this, Hillary Clinton plainly guilty. The American people know that she's guilty. The press knows that she's guilty. Washington, D.C. knows that she's guilty. The FBI knows that she's guilty. It's the big, huge elephant in the room. As she's allowed to skate without consequences, what does this say to the American people who have to live under these arduous laws? These laws that change for political appetite on a regular basis. These laws that are leveraged against average citizens. Hillary Clinton just gets to skate when we all know she's guilty of actual crimes, right? Leaving the nation safety by way of its back door unchecked. Selling our national security to the highest bidder. Leaving our soldiers to die on a battlefield because it's politically inconvenient, not expedient. This is just on its face ridiculous. Don't think that the people are so stupid that they can't tell this. And don't think that this will have ripple effects across the body politic, because it will. The military, ladies and gentlemen, prefers Trump by huge margins, big time. And of course, this doesn't surprise me at all, having served myself. Obama has been worse than a train wreck. Worse than a train wreck, gutting our military at a time when it needs to be its strongest. Military Times has an amazing piece on that. It seems as though Elizabeth Warren is going to be the attack arm of the Hillary Clinton campaign. So she goes on attack against Trump. And of course, it's funny, I was reading some of her tweets, vile, name-calling, vicious. Now, it's strange that she doesn't have to wear any of the consequences or ramifications of that. No, Hillary's just fighting fire with fire. In her case, when she's petty in middle school, like with her insults and her replies, it's all somehow kosher, if you will. When Donald Trump does these things, it's middle school mudslinging. You'd think there'd be a standard. There isn't, which leads this is the problem with this, right? For those of us who do want the discourse of politics to come up from the slums, well, all this means is that this is the way it must be done. See, the problem, I think, is that there's a lot of conservatives, even Christian conservatives, even Christians that do not condone this kind of behavior, this kind of rhetorical approach. They realize that for so long, the Democrats have just been able to get away with anything. Lying, accusing people of things they're not doing, defamating character, slandering, and nobody fights back. Conservatives don't fight back. I think the reason that Donald Trump is on such a long leash by way of some of these shenanigans is because we're just so tired of somebody not fighting back, and we believe the guy's going to fight back. We believe it's a blood sport, politics, White House pursuits, and Trump just doesn't seem like he's going to swallow crap, and there's an appetite for that. That's my take on that. So Hillary Clinton obviously going to use Elizabeth Warren. Warren in her fake Indian heritage takes a wampum. Lion Liz is what Trump should start calling her. Lion Liz. There's a piece in the New York Times. Obama goes on a legal war against North Carolina. Why, ladies and gentlemen? And over what? Men going pee-pee in a woman's restroom. That's where you are. That's where you are, 2016's America. That's where you sit in the month of May. So preposterous. The fascism that is at play here, that where you would demand that a state. What happened to states' rights? We don't even wink and a nod at the notion anymore. The notion that you would demand that a state alter something so fundamentally basic to human society, and do so at the threat of the Department of Injustice. It's just remarkable what this administration gets away with. It's remarkable, and then they're seen as normal. They're seen as mainstream. I guarantee you, I promise you this. I don't care what Jon Stewart's out there saying. I don't care what the latest leftists' lips are mimicking. The country does not think it's normal to have sick, mentally deranged men using the female bathroom as, some sort of like social theater experiment. Moreover, there's been case after case rolling in. Just the other day, I shared with you a case about some guy going in there and videotaping these poor women going to the bathroom. It's obviously just going to be open field. This is going to be open game on females. And it doesn't take a smart person to realize this. But social engineering has become so powerful, and people are so afraid to stand up to it. When North Carolina stands up to it, what happens? Businesses start boycotting them. What I would strongly advise you do is to contact those businesses and tell them you do not appreciate putting your daughters, your mother, your sister in harm's way. And yes, I don't care how many times they say that this is not a problem. This is 100% a problem. Talk to any level-headed guy that you know and ask him if guys are allowed to just willy-nilly go in and out of bathrooms, which this law does allow for. Ask those guys to shoot you straight and ask them if that's going to present a problem. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that the White House is using the levers of power here. This, not only your border. Now you have laws that say you must be a citizen, not there. No, in fact, your American citizens can be shot down, pregnant on piers, in sanctuary cities, lawless sanctuary cities. No. Not even a furlowed brow. But here, ladies and gentlemen, where guys want to go in and pee next to little girls, this is where the Department of Injustice gets its teeth out. Facebook's anti-conservative bias grows and grows and grows and grows. And I'll tell you what, this makes me sick because these social engineering platforms were literally built to give people a voice. But apparently only some people, only some ideologies. All the left does. Every day, if you listen to this podcast, I bring you examples. Not my opinions. News cataloged examples of leftists shutting down speech, shutting down dissent, suing people, violently attacking people, mobs on college campuses, roaming around looking for dissent. And now Facebook, the largest social media platform in the country, in the world, shutting down conservative opinion in a country that is supposed to have liberty and freedom and discussion and First Amendment rights. It's sickening. Make sure you reach out. Make them pay for this. I've been spending less and less time on Facebook because I have no respect for the social media platform. I just don't. I hope this stuff ends up a death by 1,000 cuts, because why do people go to Facebook? Why? To communicate with each other. And this is just stifling that. What these liberals know is that study after study comes out, more people are receiving their news from Facebook than any other source. So you have very, very powerful entities, just like they're trying to gobble up the internet, are trying to control what people see. Conservative pages are being silenced. Conservative posts are being removed. I've had it happen to myself. It's unbelievable. And lastly, there's an amazing piece by Horowitz, The Never Trump Beltway. Arrogance is going to get Hillary Clinton elected. There's no tolerance for it. Breitbart.com has that. Just think about the consequences of a Hillary Clinton presidency, and then start thinking about some of this tomfoolery through a new lens, a lens with much more seriousness, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the Brock Lawley program. Be a people of fortitude, character, and abounding courage.
I will talk only to white people about how we are going to deal with the very real problems. Look, I don't believe you change hearts. I believe you change laws, you change allocation of resources. I'm ready.
Thanks very much.